has not yet won an S-tier Age of Empires 4 tournament, but he'll be looking to do that today because, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1 of the second set of the day. This is N4C, the $100,000 Age of Empires 4 tournament. Spawning in on the south side of the map, we've got MarineLorD playing as the French.
And look at this. We start off on Hill and Dale, I believe, right? This is... Or can we get an overview? I believe the first map was Hill. It is
King
not.
of the Hill.
It is King of the Hill. Okay, I thought it said Hill and Dale on that Civ draft, but I guess we were wrong. It is King of the Hill. And we're going to be starting here with a Mongols versus French matchup. We saw the exact same matchup in the previous set, the French managing to take that. What does Leenock need to do differently than what VortiX tried?
He needs to be successful with his pressure. If he is going to apply pressure, he actually needs to make it stick. He's got a beautiful spawn, though. Take a look at this. This is not something that you typically see on this map. It's very rare to have a wood line close to a gold mine, and he's somehow managed to find it. So Leenock already starting off looking incredible with his spawn, with his map. Obviously, this map as well, it's quite important. The sacred site, French love to go and take that sacred site, put a keep or 2 or 7 on top of it. That's how they do it. But I would expect that if he's going to be aggressive, he needs to make it stick.
Yeah, and he seems so dangerous with the Mongols, honestly. Like, players were making fun of his Mongols earlier in the tournament, but then we saw that performance he had on King of the Hill against Abbasid, where the Khan just would not die. Like, I was casting that, it's down to 5 HP, it just would not die, and he got so many units off of it. Just the micro control from him is amazing. The macro, obviously, behind it is phenomenal, and maybe he's able to punish MarineLorD's French. MarineLorD with the French, what does he need to do against the Mongols?
The big thing here is surviving, not taking too much damage in the early game, and hoping to find your timing window, normally about the 10 to 15 minute mark. As long as you can survive up until that point, you should be okay. One of the things to be cautious of is that the Mongols love to go for that castle age timing. So if he is looking at doing something with improved siege engineering, then he's got to be very careful about that. But now we see that villager.
And he sees it too. MarineLorD sees it. So Leenock is going to be a little bit exposed here. The scout can't straight up kill the villager right now, but he can track him and be very, very annoying. And once this outpost goes down forward, he can possibly pull villagers of his own to try and deny it. And the villager has to go back to meet up with the spearman. It's only 1 spearman in production here, but there's 2 in front of it.
Yeah, so going to have that beautiful double bonus spearman coming through. But MarineLorD obviously aware that this is the situation, so he gets that intel straight away. He's going to be able to put in a plan in place to be dealing with this and begin to execute that plan. And we can already see that scout. Look how annoying he's being with the scouts.
Oh my goodness, it's so annoying. If you're coming across to that villager, you're like, oh, I have the spearman to protect it, and suddenly the villager is half HP. You can't catch the scouts. To be fair, Leenock's doing a fantastic job protecting this villager. He's not getting too far out of place, but putting that first outpost down is going to be a struggle for him for sure.
Yeah, because number 1 is that MarineLorD is well aware of it. Number 2 is that that villager is already down to half health. So Leenock going to having to be reinforcing this position and probably even bringing out a few more villagers if he wants to make this stick.
Yeah, MarineLorD on the way to the next stage. School of Cavalry coming down for him. He's got a gold there. He's also got a wood line there. He can switch to the wood line in the back there, but it's in the same direction as that outpost, so really doesn't want to start this outpost chain coming down. I would suspect we see an archer range opening here from MarineLorD, and then maybe even adding a few more scouts to try and take out those buildings.
Yeah, it's something that we've seen develop throughout the tournament, and we did see MarineLorD also deleting that mining camp on the gold mine, realizes that he wants to prevent his enemy from getting that raid bounty because it'd be very easy to do. Now moving in, doing a pretty decent job at this point in just controlling those villagers, forcing them onto things he doesn't want to be on. But I would expect that we probably see some scouts into production as he reaches the second age.
Yeah, and then once you get the scouts on the field, you always have the option to go into professional scouts later, and you just really synergize that defense. Leenock is not afraid of anything, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay, he replaces that outpost a little bit, but he's out of position with the spearmen. They're going after the villagers. Leenock didn't realize the spearmen were going around that side of the woodline, so he's going to have to pull him back. MarineLorD really delaying here, waiting for the archers to come out on the field. Khan is there from Leenock. I think that outpost should go up before the first archer is out.
Yeah, I suspect that outpost is going to go up. Probably going to be the last one, but if we take a look at the minimap, you can actually see that when it comes to wood spawns here, MarineLorD not having the best spawn possible. The on the left side of his town center, he's also got another big wood line with the berries down there. Leenock's going to be able to prevent that. So he's going to be having to think about secondary sources. Horse or archers now going to be coming out. You can see the way he's moving, just protecting that villager. He wants to avoid that villager going down. It's imperative that he gets up this outpost, and now dropping down that movement speed arrow. Going to be coming in, takes out a spearman, does a pretty decent job. Got to be careful with that villager, though. You can see it's on low health. He manages to get the outpost up. Villager does stay inside. He keeps it alive.
Yep, villager tanked the maximum number of arrows it could without going down, and she's going to hop inside and calmly doing so as well. The wood line for MarineLorD is really the major issue here if they're all cut off. Like, he's taking a straggler tree right now. I think he really needs to start thinking, if he's not going to push those outposts back, where else can I move to?
That's a great point. I'd love to take a look right now at Leenock's perspective and see what he has uncovered on the map. You can see that he spots out the wood lines here for MarineLorD. He knows where he might potentially look, so I would expect that we could even see another villager or two potentially coming out towards that wood line and look to be doing damage before MarineLorD actually moves over. But you can see he's dealing with stragglers at the moment. Just a couple of villagers out on those trees, but having a little bit of trouble now. Arrow slits coming through as well. Jeez, this is...
And Leenock can spot this. Like, he saw MarineLorD was dealing with stragglers, and he sees MarineLorD going out to that wood, the one singular tree out there. Whether that's intentional or not, I don't know, but he's going to move over in this direction. I think MarineLorD should be fine. We'll see the split screen right here as both players focus on that area. Scout's now coming out. He'll spot the con. Leenock will be tracking all of this movement from MarineLorD, and at the back, adding some more production buildings.
Yeah, we can see Horseman now coming out here as well for MarineLorD, so going to be able to chase that Khan away and provide a little bit more presence on the field. When we look at Leenock's or MarineLorD's perspective now, you can see him also moving out, looking to be aggressive in this situation. So a very smart move, and definitely puts the shoe on the other foot, has managed to build up a safe deposit of wood there as well.
I love watching these guys play. Our two fastest players here, I think.
Yeah, I think when it comes to just sheer APM, these two guys are the king at the moment in this game. So very, very good to see. But you can see that for Leenock, he's got all of his resources under his town center. I don't think MarineLorD's going to be able to do too much in this spot.
No, it was a great spawn there with that gold right beside the wood, and he's taking full advantage of that. Did add the stable behind for Leenock, and he's getting the spearman upgrade as well. But the archers in there for MarineLorD maybe going to cause him a few problems. MarineLorD figured out that the safest wood line he could take is the most forward wood line near his base, and Leenock can really do nothing to punish that at the moment.
Yeah, so at this point in time, we can see MarineLorD still hanging around the base of Leenock, just looking to keep him in the base. He's got enough military units now. He doesn't really need to do too much. I expect that we'll probably see him looking to transition, and you can see he's starting to stack up quite a few resources here. More than 1,000 resources built up right now for MarineLorD. Something curious that you don't always see. So more than 500, almost 500 wood, as well as 900 food. So if he wants to get out onto the map and take gold, he's going to really need to move a lot of villagers out there to do it, to have anything similar to the gold count he'll need with regard to the food count to get up to that next stage. So we can see, oh, he's actually moved quite a fair few out here. Look at that.
Nice outpost there too, preemptive outpost before the pressure comes in, bringing the archers back. Leenock is looking to go up to the next stage, but so is MarineLorD. He's banking quite a bit of food here. I guess he's got a lot on the gold like we saw before. So both players should be up at relatively the same time. Wall also coming down from MarineLorD, so he's going to secure that whole right side of his base.
Yeah, I think this is a very smart move by MarineLorD to do this. Prevent that Khan from coming through, getting the scouting information, prevent horsemen from coming through, doing any raids. So a smart move there. And now we see Leenock looking to commit a little bit more to the second age. Obviously got plenty of gold in the bank, but getting a few horsemen out, and this Khan just being very cheeky, attacking the villager down that is constructing that wall.
And the horsemen coming around to that side too. So Leenock sensing a little bit of blood in the water, maybe with MarineLorD sending the villager so exposed out to that right side. Horsemen will arrive before the horsemen from MarineLorD, and the Khan will be able to kill that villager before she finishes the wall. The horsemen can go right through there. No, they can't.
They should be able to get through.
Is the deer blocking?
It could
What
be.
is going on?
Yeah, he should be able to get through that, or at least siege that down. It'll only take him a few seconds, but obviously the few seconds that it does by MarineLorD, MarineLorD's going to be able to move units over there, cover for him. So now we've got that age up in queue. You can see that brand new UI element up towards the top of your screens, moving around that too. Thank you very much. Big shout out to Overlay Guy. It's looking very, very nice. And Professional Scout's also going to be coming in for MarineLorD, but he's got to be careful here. A lot of villagers on this gold mine.
Yeah, and there's scouts there. It's like there's 4 scouts in that army. So Leenock leaves with the horsemen, but scout's not going to be doing as much damage as the horsemen are, and he just leaves and goes around to the other position. So he's got spearmen over there, he's got horsemen over there, and he too is going up to the 3rd age with the step readout. So he's not too far behind so far. All the pressure been on MarineLorD's base, and MarineLorD will pull this army back. But remember, 4 of those units are scouts, and there's only 3 archers there. Barracks now being added from MarineLorD.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm curious what composition MarineLorD's going to look to go into in this situation. Going up against the Mongols is going to be really tough. Typically, you'd see out of these guys just put out a whole bunch of lancers out onto the field. But now we can see that the double barracks from MarineLorD means that he can very easily go into spears. So he could be anticipating that that's what the Mongol player will be looking to do and subsequently counters it. But both players now getting up to that 3rd age. I'll be curious to see what MarineLorD looks to put his guild hall on, whether he keeps it on food, as we see most players do at the start of the Castle Age, or whether he looks to transfer it over or move it over to stone or to gold. We'll click shortly on that guild hall, though.
Economy, though, still better for MarineLorD. Even with all the moving around he's been doing, he has wheelbarrow, he has that French faster producing TC, 42 villagers to 38. It's not the worst thing in the world here for Leenock, considering he's Mongols and can really swing unit production. But still, MarineLorD, the longer you don't do damage, the more of an advantage he's going to gain.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He continues to scale through this game. Obviously, Leenock, on the other hand, he's going to be able to find his own small advantages, whether he looks to go for that second town center, which we have been seeing more Mongol players do, especially in those mirror matches, but we've also seen it on maps like this, King of the Hill, because it's just so easy to get away with it, or whether he looks to do a bit of a timing with those mangonels, which is very common as well.
Okay, so Leenock backing up a little bit, and there it is. Professional scouts coming in for MarineLorD. Leenock is adding a Lancer, and now he's going to be able to make siege on the field as more spearmen come out from him as well. And I believe that's a Springleton placement too.
Yeah, so looking to potentially secure up the middle. I'd be curious to see exactly where he's looking to get that Springleton placement. But if he is looking to position himself on the, yeah, there it's coming in right now on the sacred site. This could be bad for MarineLorD, forces him to fight. And typically, MarineLorD wants to be the defensive player. He wants to be sitting back. He wants to make sure that he spots the mangonels before they spot him. That's
and
really
MarineLorD
key.
actually going to stone now. So I don't know if he's thinking about that second town center. I don't know if he can, if Leenock takes control of that middle area, or maybe thinking about a keep at some point, or some upgraded towers of his own. But that's a good spot to see that he is thinking about stone. Sends in the men-at-arms now. Is there anything here immediately to counter these units from Leenock?
Yeah, I think primarily it's going to be those men-at-arms, but unfortunately, MarineLorD sending in a couple units to waste here. It just seems like a little bit of a misplay. The men-at-arms quite slow. You can see them barely making it out alive here. They're going to be trying their best. A couple more coming in to reinforce, but at the same time, you're really going to be wondering whether he made the right decision to do that. You can see he's still yet to get any upgrades, either not even dropping down a blacksmith yet.
And spearmen actually taking effective fights against the men-at-arms currently, just because they're outmassing them. And the professional scouts now bringing in the carcasses just on time, it looks like, because those villagers were working on their last one, even dropping down a few farms behind this. He does have the first fooding upgrade, MarineLorD, and there's a market for Leenock, so maybe thinking about buying himself a second town center. We've seen that from a lot of players.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, especially when there's so much gold on a map like this. Very easy to get the step redoubt out there. Just throw a couple extra villages onto gold. You're going to be able to buy up that wood. It makes a lot of sense doing that because on this map, typically wood a little bit more difficult to gather.
Yeah, and you always have floating gold with Mongols. Like, you always have, even though you try and use it as best you can, it seems like you just always have floating gold. And you know, Nilly wouldn't say it was the most optimal strategy, but for a human, it makes sense.
Yeah, for non-robots, definitely it makes sense. But now we've got that mangonel coming through. So looking to hold this position, still yet to see any form of religious units out on the map, though. So even though Leenock has gone and secured up this central location with his outposts and with the Springleton placements, we don't actually see any religious units to actually capture that sacred site. A little bit of a misplay from him because he definitely does have the agency in this situation.
Yeah, just to kind of force the issue a little bit, make MarineLorD start sweating behind this.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And we now see that the guild hall has been turned onto stone. So he's got two options with regard to his stone. First option, pull it out at 800, get himself a keep, or pull it out at 1100 and get yourself a keep as well as a town center.
Did he ever finish off those outposts to the left? Because this wood line is being pressured here, and I think those outposts are still covering that. So Leenock has an opportunity to catch a lot of, yeah, they are. He has an opportunity to catch a lot of villagers here if MarineLorD, or if MarineLorD can't take a good engagement against the siege.
And we can see that there's a little bit of a misplacement here with regard to the Siege Workshop. You can see the Siege Workshop about to get a unit out, but at the same time, units already on top. It's going to be a Springald. He's going to have to push forward if he wants to protect it. We now see MarineLorD looking to begin pushing forward. He's got the men-at-arms together with the crossbows. Going to be looking to fire in. Springald does come out. He does have a little bit of time here. Mangonel going to be going down on that front line. Second Mangonel still doing absolute work, but look how many men-at-arms are out. I think this might be a victory here for MarineLorD.
Yeah, MarineLorD, he's just taking such a good fight. You have to question, why did Leenock commit against this, against so many men-at-arms? Maybe he set up the siege and figured, I need to go anyway, but MarineLorD is completely clearing all of this. Leenock queuing up some more units behind. He's going to have military, but how much is the question as he sends a Lancer in to that wood line. Still, MarineLorD not really losing villagers. 59 vills to 50 for Leenock.
Yeah, I think MarineLorD's going to be really happy with this trade. That was the push that we were worried about. Typically in this position, the Mongol push will come in around this time, normally between 11 and 15 minutes.
There's more units coming. There's more units coming from Leenock. Good production.
Yeah, we see the reinforcements now coming through. Keep in mind, he's got the artillery on the backside, going to be able to do so much work. And he's mixing in archers. A lot of people wouldn't be mixing in the archers. They help out so much against these spears.
Yep. Still Leenock providing pressure. He killed a couple villagers. That villager difference is only 6 at the moment. And Leenock sending villagers forward to that wood line. He's having some wood issues of his own.
Indeed.
I think he could go to the one at the back, but he's focusing more on the front. I feel like if he loses his forward pressure, it might just be curtains for him. So maybe he thinks the same way.
Yeah, it's not looking good right now. The best thing that Leenock could have done in that position was try and take control of the sacred site and really just play with his siege, outposted up the same way that he was doing. He was looking absolutely perfect. And he went and forced the issue, and he didn't need to. And now MarineLorD going to be able to establish control in the center of the map. And from this point, it looks very easy for MarineLorD to win. He would need to make a huge mistake to actually mess this one up.
And he doesn't need to overcommit to anything. He can just kind of go forward a little bit. If Leenock chases him, he falls back to this keep. He's perfectly fine. He's going to clear up the outposts in the middle. Leenock, 55 villagers. MarineLorD, 61. Leenock still producing some knights, but he's got a monk now, so he's just begun to start capturing that sacred site, I believe. And there's a trebuchet coming out from MarineLorD.
Yeah, it's a little bit too late, though. That's the issue. You can see that he doesn't really have a lot of units back here. Only 6 military at the moment on the field for him. So it's one of those things where it's just, you know, if this had come 6 or 7 minutes ago, then we could talk about it. Yeah, but at this point in time, I suspect that it's just going to be an absolutely overwhelming flood coming out for MarineLorD, and it's just going to be a matter of time until he's there.
Yeah, and he feels pretty secure. He's getting his food eco stabilized now with some farms. Obviously, he's got the wall off to the right, so the raiding potential is limited, and Leenock doesn't even have that many units to raid with. He's got 2 monks, 3 spearmen, and 5 knights on the field. It's just not enough. He needs siege, he needs that mass, and he needs the continued production. Actually coming forward with villagers. Okay, he's moved his step readout, so he's going to start taking gold in the middle now.
Yeah, I think this is a smart move to try and get it up there. But keep in mind, the Mongols, the only civilization without access to keeps. So if he wants to put down a little bit more defense on this sacred site, he's only going to be able to do it with outposts. And that's not technically a bad thing. Outposts, obviously, with the Springald upgrade are very potent and difficult to deal with. And we see MarineLorD is actually adding in a trebuchet, or he's got one out on the field now to deal with those.
I like this idea from Leenock to raid with the knights here, but it's just not enough. He's going to get into the farming eco, and MarineLorD would have to not pay attention to this for a good 2 minutes for them to kill enough villagers to make it competitive here.
Yeah, it's not looking pretty. We can see that the population difference at this point isn't that big. It's 95 up against 83, and you might look at that and think, all right, you know, it's still a relatively close game. But the reality is that Leenock has lost his victory condition. His victory condition was that timing push. It was, you know, exactly when he pushed in was the right time, but MarineLorD prepared for it incredibly well. We saw he had beautiful amount of men-at-arms, a great amount of artillery. He was able to hold on, he was able to defend, and now he's able to push out.
Yeah, and with that trebuchet, he's going to be taking down these outposts. Leenock is investing in Springald placements, but they don't mean anything if the outposts go down, which the trebuchet will do. We've got 8 minutes left on the Sacred Site counter. MarineLorD can run in and take that anytime he wants. He's got the 4 men-at-arms, 3 Springalds, a trebuchet, and 15 arbs behind this. Although the Springalds from Leenock now coming forward, looking for some good snipes. He gets the first shots there, but he doesn't kill anything. The Springalds from MarineLorD are taking out his siege that he invested so much into. All 3 go down, and MarineLorD still has his Springalds. The counter raid coming in now from Leenock with the Knights in the back. So many villagers running away.
Yeah, but Leenock just standing idly by with those Lancers. They're going to be able to move back towards the center. Those villagers do remain safe. And these ones up towards the east, they're going to be absolutely fine because they'll make it through the walls. And now looks like MarineLorD once again going to be able to clean up this position. It looks like one villager did get left on those farms. Now the villagers sort of preemptively moving back onto the farms just because they know that they're safe. They've got those arbs back there. They're going to be okay.
Leenock is only 3 villagers behind. But like we keep saying, it's all about momentum. However, saying that, I thought MarineLorD would have pushed out earlier than this.
Yeah. I think the big thing for MarineLorD was walling up. He needs to do that. Still over towards the left side of his base. It's quite open. And he still hasn't done that. Obviously, you have to take control of those outposts as well. So there's always going to be that opening, and it's going to be difficult for him to push out if there's units always running into his base like that. So doing a great job. And he does delay him as well by trading out his own Springalds for that trebuchet.
This is looking kind of different than how I thought it would play out, with still the siege on the field here from Leenock, still some Lancers running around. Looks like he's got 10 Lancers on the field. He's got 14 Spearmen, 6 Springalds. There might be an opportunity if MarineLorD underestimates what Leenock has on the battlefield.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Typically, you... I don't know about you, Dave, but me, I typically look at these as ones or zeros, black and white. And I see the Mongols and I'm like, all right, this is where you need to win. If you can't win here, then you lose. But at the same time, we're dealing with Leenock. You know, Leenock is just on another level when it comes to the APM. If there's anybody who could go close to it, it's got to be MarineLorD. But definitely don't count him out at this point. He's actually beginning to rise with population costs, or with population.
And he has more villagers now. There's an outpost coming forward from MarineLorD. Leenock still with a decent economy behind this, even second wood upgrade from him, which is interesting. And he's got lots of Springalds waiting. MarineLorD can spot this with his outpost, so he knows the Springalds are there. He's hoping for a good engagement. He's going to attack with the trebuchet and move forward with his own Springalds, looking for some opportunities. Leenock unpacks, gets a hit, but MarineLorD backs up. Only 5.5 minutes left on this Sacred Site.
Yeah, this is one of the consequences of not taking that early Sacred Site as well. He was up about 10 minutes and definitely could have dropped down a Monastery if he wanted, but now we're seeing men-at-arms in the base of Leenock. So MarineLorD looking to do a nice little pick here. Keep in mind, there's only space for 20 villages inside that town center, so he's going to have to find space elsewhere if he wants to keep those villas safe.
Lancers still attacking on the side. Knights now looping around from MarineLorD to the north towards Leenock's base. He can't see any villagers to hit directly, so he's just going to be attacking the TC and killing the production. But the Knights are coming in. If they find that wood line on the left there from Leenock, it could be trouble, but it's so far away from the TC, I don't even think he's going to be able to find it. Still, he can sit under this town center, kill some military, really kill the momentum, and force the army from Leenock all the way back to his starting TC and away from the middle.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here because he's brought the Knights back, and there's the Yam network that he's going to have to contest with. You can see how fast these units are. If the Khan is about, I don't know exactly where it is, this could spoil the end of MarineLorD's Knights, and you can see he's trying his best to escape now. Keep in mind, this opens up the middle, though, so look for a push here, potentially, with men-at-arms towards that central position, because all the military should have been pulled right now for Leenock. So now we can see those Knights, Dave, as you mentioned, they do spot that wood line, and we see Outpost going down because he knows that he's been spotted, and it's only a matter of time until MarineLorD comes back.
Arbs now moving around the right side, potentially looking for those Lancers that were attacking the wall earlier. Lots of Springalds on the field from MarineLorD. He's got 5 Springalds in the middle, but look at the Springald count from Leenock. He's got 7 Springalds just waiting. He's still adding outposts, and I keep seeing the upgrades come in for those outposts along the side, so he's fortifying this area even while the Treb keeps killing all the outposts he had built previously. 3.5 minutes left on this timer. MarineLorD, he looks like he's playing very comfortably here in this situation, but he's got to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, that's a big factor. Obviously, with only 3 minutes left to go now, it's really go time, because if this attack fails, he's going to need to fall back onto Plan B, and Plan B might not even be in existence right now. So it's something that you've got to be really careful with. But now those Springles moving forward, we can see the Spears going to be looking to try and defend. Has he got the Veteran upgrade for these Spears? It looks like he does. They are Veteran Spearmen, going to be able to defend, and now we see those Knights beginning to fall back at the same time, running a bit of a screen there for the Arbaletrie. They're going to be getting those shots in, and now the Lance is going to be looking to clean up the Arbaletrie. Not a lot of units in here, Dave. There's so much meat at the front.
Yeah, and all the Springolds from MarineLorD are gone. All the Springolds are gone from him. The Knights, or the Lancers and the Pikes back up from Leenock. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on this counter here. Can Leenock do it? Can Leenock hold this middle position long enough? Springolds are now engaging against this army, but he needs to back up. He needs more Spearmen in front. He needs more units to help hold this position. We can look at both of their faces. They're deep.
That's what they look like.
Deep in concentration after that battle.
Oh, geez.
Sweat slowly rolling down their brow.
Yeah, if you didn't know what these two players look like, well, now you do. That's exactly what they look like. A keep coming up. A lot of villagers being brought out for this keep. He needs to get this up and give himself a foothold on this sacred site. At the same time, we see Leenock just pushing him back. So many Springolds on the back here going to be keeping him alive. Card going to be firing off its arrow. A little bit of a defense, and we see MarineLorD once again in the moment. You can see the sweat dropping down his brow there, Dave.
And the keep is up. The keep is up, and I think the gig is up for Leenock as he can no longer hold this position. The keep is going to be sitting there, and I think MarineLorD, I don't know if he can hold a unit on the top there, though, with all those outposts behind. It's going to be very difficult for him to deny that sacred site. We're in a really weird position here where Leenock can't get close, but MarineLorD also can't get close, and there's 1 minute and 30 seconds left on this timer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to only the first game of this series. I don't know about you, Dave, but this is absolutely racking up to be an amazing game. We're 27 minutes through right now.
What are these outposts? There's so many!
I don't know how MarineLorD even pushes into this. They've all got Springald emplacements on them, and he just keeps replacing them. To deal with this, you'd need Bombards or at least 57 Trebuchets.
Yeah, and Leenock is building more siege behind this. He's got Mangonels behind this now. He's got Trebuchets pushing back that keep. Looks like MarineLorD is shifting everything over here to the bottom side. He's got Springolds coming in, gets a great snipe on the Springold from Leenock. MarineLorD trying to desperately take this out and then push the middle, but 44 seconds left, Drongo.
He's now pushing down towards the south side. You can see all the Springolds out here from MarineLorD. There's so many of them. He's looking to try and snipe down those Trebuchets. He knows how important it is to keep this keep up on this sacred site. If he doesn't, it's going to be incredibly difficult.
Look at the heart rate. He's maxed out.
He's maxed out. One more carrot, and he's going to be on a MarineLorD. MarineLorD actually overtakes him at 156 right now. Look at the Knights going in. Going to be looking to take out the majority of those Springolds. And keep in mind, those now we see the villagers moving onto the sacred site. He's going to be looking to try and defend. The outposts are going to be getting in all of their Springald shots. They might even be one-shotting those villagers. And now we see Leenock pulling villagers as well. We're going to see all the villagers pulled, hopefully, from the wood lines. Everybody needs to get to the sacred site right now, but we can see that MarineLorD's still yet to make too much of a movement. At the moment, sitting at 26 seconds to go. 25 seconds, he can't hold any further.
Outposts taking down units, 21 seconds, 20 seconds, everything is being put on the middle here for MarineLorD, trying to deny this. The sacred site is at like 60% denied here. More villagers moving in. Leenock just needs units in the middle. It's 20 seconds left. Leenock needs to get rid of all these units, but he has nothing. Will MarineLorD be able to retake this sacred site from Leenock?
Mangonel goes down. It was made on the backside, and you can see the sacred site slowly working its way down. The Springald outposts are trying their best to take it out. We're down to 20 seconds on this timer. Keep in mind, if he stands on the sacred site, it's going to stop the sacred site from ticking down. It looks like he might be able to hold this, but you can see he's trying his best. Spears now coming out as well. Look at the support coming in from the outpost, just firing non-stop.
Once the keep goes down, Leenock can just hold units on the middle here, but he needs that keep to go down. The Trebs are still firing. MarineLorD is repairing that keep, and MarineLorD has brought more Trebs from the right side. This might be the ultimate timing from MarineLorD here. He waited long enough. Will this be be able to pay off? It looks like it will, as the production from Leenock simply isn't there.
Another mangonel getting made up. You can see it's so slow, so steady. That sacred site about to get captured, but units continue trickling onto it. Doesn't actually finish the mangonel. A little bit early. He pulls out and now trying to take out that Springled. Springled's going to be keeping up, but I suspect it's probably going to be going down. The sacred site is open. We're down to 17 seconds to go. Those villagers going to be trying to hold on. Dave, what is going on right now?
There's more units that keep trickling in here from Leenock. The sacred site is maybe at like 12% left on the influence. More spearmen coming in. The Treb is still attacking, but I believe the Treb will go down. He's trying to finish off the Springled there with the spearmen, and now he's looking to get those villagers, but MarineLorD is just dancing in a circle. I think Leenock needs to pull all of his villagers here.
All the outposts have gone from Leenock. MarineLorD has slowly but steadily worked his way through them, and now all MarineLorD needs to do is ring around the Rosie on the sacred site. Look at the castle. It is just taking out all the units. I don't think MarineLorD is going to be losing this at all. Sacred site is going to get captured. 1 more second to go. Ladies and gentlemen, I suspect you'll have a GG getting tapped out any second. Leenock has tried his best.
Is it 80 villagers for Leenock, 65 villagers for
my God,
MarineLorD.
it's not over.
He sacrificed so much for that, and Leenock did not do the YOLO and pull to the middle. We may have ourselves a game here in game number 1 of our second semi-final. What a crazy series of events, and I expect to see the heart rate falling here now.
Jeez Louise, that was tight. That was 15 seconds right there. Oh my Lord, Dave, I thought we had ourselves a game. It turns out we aren't even halfway.
Oh my goodness. How do you even recover from that? How did mentally reset after that? Leenock looks cool as a cucumber here. I mean,
I've never seen MarineLorD's heart rate over 65, and now he's sitting at 147.
It's steadily going down. It's fine.
Make sure we got medics on site.
That
all right?
is intensive. That was like an extended 5 minutes of 150 plus.
Yeah, I think his Siri's got to be saying to him, "Are you up to something?" Like, you know how it sends you those little notifications, like, "We think you weren't walking." But yeah, from this position, how does Leenock look to stabilize? I think obviously he's got a villager advantage. He's up 15 villagers. You can see he's got plenty of economic upgrades as well.
It's his chance to take it back now. He's going to have to take it back once again. There is the keep there in the middle that he never managed to take down. There's now outposts being added, but he's adding Trebs of his own. So Leenock feels like there's potential for him to come back in this game, and he's going to send the Lancers once again to start raiding the economy from MarineLorD.
Right now, Leenock with 35 military population compared to the 24 for MarineLorD. I tell you what, Dave, I don't even know as a caster how we come back from that. We've just witnessed what was potentially, one of the most insane games ever. And now it's just, we're just, we're taking a chill pill. We're falling back. I'm going to sip on my Red Bull here. You're probably going to have some of your Hello Fresh in a little bit.
We're going to need to Hello Freshen up after this game. I'm sweating.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Okay, Trebs from Leenock coming forward. MarineLorD actually spots this raid coming in, and that's excellent awareness from him after that crazy series of events. He's down below 140, so everything's fine. Everything is healthy in the room right now. Leenock still raiding the farming eco there, and he's going to begin to treb the buildings back from MarineLorD. I have to wonder if Leenock could have used that stone during that engagement.
Yeah, that's a really good point. He could have looked to try and take control, get a few more units out on the field, but we actually see he's probably about to click up to Imperial.
He just killed the monk with the trebs?
That's style points. Style points.
He's like, no, that's my sacred site, bro.
Leenock about to click up to Imperial. You can see he's floating more than enough to get up, so another 200 food or so, and he should be up. But once he gets up to Imperial, I guess the question is, how does he play it? I think his best bet is just to go full Lancer. Just go 100% elite Lancer, make sure you get the upgrade that gives him the extra health, and I think you're going to be absolutely fine. But you can see he's struggling a little bit. He's obviously up to 72 units on the military count, so he's 30 ahead, but a lot of that is going to be siege, and a lot of it trebuchets, which are typically considered lesser siege.
Trebuchets, he does have a lot of them. He's waiting for his moment. That's a lot of spears, though. That is a lot of spears. And if we saw anything in that last battle, it was just military mass that was carrying the day. And Leenock's got a whole bunch of it massed up behind this. He's going to unpack his trebs, try and snipe the ones from MarineLorD, but that's not going to work, so he's going to move him a little bit further forward. And this is attempt number 2 to hold on to that sacred site as we see the keep now being targeted. MarineLorD's not careful. That keep could actually go down, and if that keep goes down, superior military here for Leenock.
Yeah, he might be able to just to run in. Now, we did see a bit of a raid up towards the north. You can see there were some knights running in. Springald's going to be focusing down those trebuchets, though. And MarineLorD definitely looking a little bit cooler. His heart rate dropped to about 130, so he'll be feeling okay now. But, geez, I tell you what a tense game already.
I love the positioning from both players. Like, they'll shift side to side. You can see MarineLorD never came in from this side before. Now he's shifting around because he saw the positioning of the Trebs. Leenock trying to respond with his own Springalds, but he's going to lose Trebuchet along the way. Still, MarineLorD doesn't just want to blindly engage against this many units here. Leenock is going to push him back from that position. Lots of Knights going down there for MarineLorD, and I think MarineLorD's Springalds will be sniped as well. The keep needs to be repaired throughout this whole process, but MarineLorD wisely with 1,000 reserve stone in the bank.
Yeah, he's got plenty of stone there. Could be dropping down another keep, but you could see the overwhelming numbers coming through from Leenock. And it looks like MarineLorD doesn't have enough archers at this point. A lot of arbaletier out. It's not looking good for him. And keep in mind, behind this, Leenock's up on the villager count, up on the military count, up on the resource count as well. If he wants to, he's going to be able to shoot up to Imperial again, but those trebuchets going to go down, Khan going down.
His production looks so much better, too.
There's so much chaos in this game, isn't there?
There is, and now the step readout is being positioned on top of the hill there. Or no, that's being repaired.
It's being repaired. I think
guess
it got taken
killed.
out. Yeah, it got taken out in the crossfire. Trebuchets doing what trebuchets do best and taking out buildings. But I tell you what, what an incredible game. I can't believe it. This is just... Oh my God, Dave.
This is what I envisioned when this map came out. When the game first came out and you see this map, this is what you think is going to happen every game. And
this is King of the Hill.
Exactly. This is truly King of the Hill. As we see Leenock still banking up res to go. He's in that middle ground. He's thinking about production. He's got a lot of production, but he's also thinking about going up, and he's stuck in the middle, right? And the second keep now from MarineLorD. So he's going to try and solidify this position. Yeah, step readout will repair enough so we can back it away and go somewhere else.
A little bit of a miscalculation there, I think, from Leenock. I think what he's doing right now is anchoring towards his position on the map. Ideally, he needs to fall back. You can see doesn't really have a lot of gold mines over on the left-hand side, but over on the right side, up towards the north, there's a great spot for him. Very, very open. No real contest going to be happening over there. So he's going to need to move his step readout around there with his gold villagers. But it looks like these villagers might be going down. These knights.
MarineLorD tracking this really, really well. And is that the step readout?
It's running to the safety of the forward outpost that were made in 4 minutes.
Oh, there we go. He's running away with that. So we might see it get taken down for the second time this game. Still the embers of his former empire visible on the hill there. All those outposts that he made, probably 20 of them going down. MarineLorD's done such a fantastic job. And once again, MarineLorD takes the villager lead. Leenock is not going up to the next stage, and he's down to 24 food now. So he's made his decision. He's going to just completely invest in that Castle Age army.
Little bit of a throw here at this point, in my opinion. Leenock could have easily fallen back, could have gone imp, could have got those elite upgrades and stayed defensive. His enemy hadn't taken the sacred site. There was no need for him to push. And so now we see this point where Leenock, his military numbers, sure, they're not looking too shabby, but villager count has dwindled. He's obviously lost a lot of villagers from that forward gold, and now finds himself in a bit of a difficult spot.
He will have an opportunity, though, because he's kept up the production, and it looks like MarineLorD has only been producing knights here. So 65 military population for Leenock, 33 for MarineLorD. A lot of that for Leenock is invested in siege, but that's going to be siege he can use to take out those keeps, and this is a good counter raid here. Little bit of distraction. He's going to pick off some villagers, and the villager count should be even soon.
Yeah, so getting some pretty decent raids in here, falling back to this woodline. Keep in mind that woodline over towards the left side of the map. Obviously, MarineLorD not going to be able to take it out because of the outposts that still stand steadfast. But now heading out over onto this eastern side, you can see the walls coming up here as well. And these Lancers not going to
Oh, that's a good Lancer at the back
That is a great Lancer, isn't it?
Idles like 20 villagers back there and kills a few of them as well. So Leenock doing some good raids. They're going to be tied here in villagers. More siege. This is push number 15 or something here coming from Leenock. Sacred Site is in MarineLorD's control. So if Leenock wants to capture that, he's going to need to take out both of these keeps. He's going to need a really great ball of trebs to do so. 5 on the field for him currently. Only 4 Springalds, though, so maybe he loses the Springald battle initially.
Yeah, we now see a second town center being added by MarineLorD. It's 39 minutes, so he's going to be throwing this one up just outside the central plaza. I guess you could call it that, the central plateau. Going to be coming down, but a huge mass of military now beginning to build up for Leenock and really looking to invest in his siege. And now it looks like a third keep going to be coming up down towards his sacred site.
Oh boy, does Leenock have enough? Look at that military population, 96 versus 48 from MarineLorD. The population right now, 180 to 130, but MarineLorD with a much better position here on the middle hill. Still, will that keep even be alive by the time it goes up? That's so many Trebs attacking it right now. Trebs from MarineLorD also firing back. Mangonel's getting a little bit too far forward maybe, trying to kill those villagers.
Yeah, he's really holding on for dear life at this point. Keep in mind, 8 minutes until that Sacred Site victory comes through for MarineLorD. But, I mean, at this point in time, you'd have to say Leenock's army looks very fearsome.
Very fearsome indeed. And Leenock is using the classic strategy of let me gather resources where you would not expect because it's so far and so unsafe. And MarineLorD just can't seem to find him anywhere on the map with these counter raids. The third castle goes down. Lots of knights building. It's like the Battle of Agincourt or something. He's just going to build up a giant charge for the final battle.
Keep in mind, even though Leenock right now sits on 113 military population, his units are not as efficient as MarineLorD's because they take a little bit less resources. But take a look at the push that's coming in right now. He is looking to contend this sacred site. All of the spears coming in now. Beautiful charge coming in through there, but look at the knights now. There's so many numbers here. He's got to be careful of those mangonels. You saw him falling back. The mangonel does actually go out. MarineLorD losing that one and now trying to hold on this push up towards the center of the sacred site. Not having a lot of luck. MarineLorD not looking pretty, Dave.
Yeah, is there enough units in front? He's got the Springolds behind. He won the initial engagements with the Springolds, but the keep is still being taken out by these Trebs. It's just if the Springolds can snipe the Trebuchets in time, and it looks like they're going to be able to take out enough of them. MarineLorD will still have those keeps in the center. I think Leenock might take this one back or deny it for a limited time, but MarineLorD's done a really great job repairing.
What is that Steppered Out doing as well? Look at that bad boy. He's coming. Is that a bad meta Steppered Out right there?
I have no idea. Tanking fire? I don't know. He's confused.
It could be, but the sacred site looks like it's going to be captured. You can see it slowly dwindling down. A monk coming in carrying a relic, but he's going to need a little bit more than that today to save the game. You can see him going to get sniped out, unfortunately. And that sacred site actually returning back towards the favor of MarineLorD. All the units on the sacred site have been taken out by the keeps, and that's why they're so strong on those sacred sites.
And I think the mangonels killed the repairing villagers too. So the trebuchets are going to be taking off HP from that keep. And MarineLorD resigns.
No way. He just knew he didn't have the tempo for it.
He didn't have the resources to replace those units. He didn't have the tempo. He didn't have the momentum, like you said. And how did we get to a place where Leenock had 17 seconds left on the middle? He lost it, and he still wins.
What kind of game was that? That was absolutely wild. I can't believe that game. It just swung so many different ways.